Welcome back to the Car Crazy channel. On this episode of Joyrides, we are going to be talking about the Suzuki Kizashi. I won't be calling it the Maruti Suzuki Kizashi because this car was fully imported from Japan. It was manufactured in Sagara and it attracted 105% import duties. So yes, it was quite expensive to buy. This variant, the CVT variant, used to cost roughly about 20 lakh rupees in Delhi when it was introduced here in 2011. But imagine, this car was brought to India in 2011 and it still has features that no single Maruti car can offer together in one package. They might have some features in isolation, but this is feature packed and it is built like no other. This is also dubbed as India's first luxury sports sedan. And I know sports and Maruti Suzuki are, two words that we usually don't use together in a sentence, but here we have a prime example of this Kizashi. Now this is the CVT variant. In India we got a front wheel drive driven car with a manual or a automatic transmission. Automatic transmission was a CVT. Internationally it also had an all-wheel drive variant, but that was never brought to India. Most ambitious project, a sedan project till date. They've never attempted anything like this. It was meant to be, a halo project. It was meant to showcase their capabilities, because up until this car was brought out, Suzuki was known to make small cars, city-friendly cars, cars that were easy to drive. But this car attempted to change that image. It failed terribly, and that is why Suzuki never brought a second Kizashi. Globally as well, this car was discontinued. It was first introduced in 2009 globally, and I think in 2015 they decided to stop production of it. But what a lovely piece of machine. It is just superb. So it gets a 2.4 liter naturally aspirated engine, and this car is a true driver's car. By that I mean it does not pretend to be pretentious. There are no over the top screens or no fake styling elements. It is just very functional, very beautiful, very gorgeous. And when you come to the back, you will see the car in its full glory, because this is the best angle to look at it. A very stubby design, has functional dual exhausts and a nice integrated sort of a spoiler in the boot. On the front of the car, just like the inside, it has this waterfall sort of an effect. So you see these lines, they come here just like a waterfall and it curves down here. The front would remind you of the Grand Vitara that was sold, and it is also quite identical to the first gen Jetta that was introduced in India in terms of the shape of this middle part and the lights. But this has its own unique identity. You would see big crisscross vents here. This is finished in dark chrome, looks quite premium. And lower down you have air dams that have been divided into 3 pieces, and you have fog lamps on either ends. Headlamps as well, nothing fancy here, no DRLs or nothing like that. It gets projector lenses with halogens. That was a stock offering, standard offering from Maruti, but it looks really gorgeous. Quite a functional design. It has a lot of curves here, you will notice on this part of the headlamp as well, on the bonnet as well. So it is simple, but it is really attractive looking. On the side, now the stock wheels were 17 inches and they were the first to be introduced on the Kizashi in this segment, the D sedan segment. These ones have been upsized. These are 18-inch BBS rims, and you would also notice Brembo caliper covers on the front and the back. It does add to the styling of the car, makes it look a little bit more sportier. Otherwise, without the wheels and without the calipers, it looks like a proper sporty executive sedan. This one just makes it look like a sporty sedan. Discs on the front and the back. So the front ones are ventilated discs, the rear are just standard discs. And there we go. Quite a nice location here. Yep, we are shooting under a 105-year-old bridge. How old is the bridge? You'll check and let me know. Okay. On the side, you would also notice request sensors. Now, unlike other luxury cars of the time, the indicators are placed here on the fenders and not on the mirrors. The mirrors were body colored. On this car, we have blacked out outside rear view mirrors. It's a nice contrast. This is the most loved angle of the Kizashi. Just look at this boot lid here. It has this nice little curve that comes up just like a ducktail spoiler. It looks like a spoiler that has been integrated here, and to add some more drama and character, the high stop lamp has been placed here. So at night this car looks absolutely fantastic. These tail lamps as well have very good detailing. So it does not have LED. These are your standard bulbs, halogen bulbs, but you can see this indicator unit that eats into the brake light. Quite nice, very nice detailing. That's a full look at the rear. It is curvy, it is full of characters, and lower down, the best part, it gets twin exhausts. And no, these are not fake, these are functional, and you can see exhaust pipes coming out from both the vents. So that again is really cool. What a lovely looking thing. I really wish Maruti attempts something like this again, not just in India but also at a global stage, because imagine this as a halo product back in 2011. This was just phenomenal. From a manufacturer that is known for making small cars, they dropped this, a 2.4 liter sports sedan. Okay, now let's take a look at the interiors, because here you have a lot of premium features. Does not look like it when you look at the cabin for the first time, but plenty of features here, starting with the driver's seat. You can see it is 8-way powered. In fact, both the seats here are 8-way powered. The driver's seat goes a step ahead by offering memory functions. So you have 3 different memory settings, and you also have lumbar support. So this button can be used to control this part of the seat. So when you're out on a long distance road trip, you can, you know, add some more comfort to your drive. Now here you can see that this car has been imported from Japan. It has been mentioned here. These seats might not be the biggest, but they do have, you know, bolstering on the side, and they seem to be comfortable. Some signs of wear and tear, but that is expected from a car this old. Take a look at the door card here. Again, very basic. You'd have seen the same design for the control of the outside rear mirror on a Swift and other Maruti cars, but here the quality is different. Everything here, so this is soft touch material, so is this, this is hard plastic, but everything here, since this car was made internationally, speaks quality. So this is a quick look at the key. It has a cover, but we've seen this key fob design with a lot of other Maruti cars that were then brought to India, including the SX4 and the Ciaz. So on the inside of the car, yes, it gets a start-stop button. It also gets a traction control off button here, and you have front fog lamps that can be controlled using this, and you also have headlamp leveling. These are your AC vents, and you can also control the flow of it. Take a look at the steering wheel. Standard steering wheel, you must have seen the same design with a lot of Maruti cars, but this one is leather wrapped from factory, and it has you know, controls on the steering wheel itself. So you have your volume controls here, you have your cruise control settings here, and it also has paddle shifters, because this is an automatic, and these controls can be used to, you know, control functions of this MID here, which is again very crisp. This cluster is totally something to die for. Analog dials, really crisp. Take a look at that, and even when you rev it, you would see the beauty of it. It just looks so nice. It's so crisp, very detailed, twin pod design, beautifully done. The stalks have European formats, so on the left side is where you would control your illumination, and on the right is where you would control the wiper. I guess this is one of the only few Marutis that has this sort of an arrangement to be sold in India, officially to be sold in India. And again, matching the front, the exterior, you have that waterfall design that comes down, and it is, you know, accentuated by these chrome bits here. Now we don't get the full fat Rockford Fosgate audio system that was introduced internationally. This is an audio system, a standard audio system that has CD and USB. You also have aux, and it was paired with 6 speakers and 1 woofer that has been placed here, and it got a 4-channel amp. So the audio quality better than what Maruti used to offer back in the day, but still not the best. You can see your multimedia controls have been placed here, and lower down, yes, dual zone climate control. So the co-passenger can set his own temperature, and I as a driver can set my own. That is pretty unique for a Maruti that was sold in 2011. Here you have some storage, your cup holders, and it has a neat cover, so when you're not using it, you can, you know, just place your stuff and hide it away. This central console as well has a 2-step you know, storage compartment here. and there is some more storage here that also hides the USB port and the aux port, and you have some more space to put in other stuff. Now this is your gear selector. Looks very standard, a little too basic to belong in India's first sports sedan, but nevertheless it is functional. It has lasted the test of time, and you could see the driving modes here. So park, it gets reverse, neutral, drive, and it also gets manual mode. So all you have to do is bring it here, shift it to the rightmost setting, and upwards is downshift, downwards is upshift. But instead of using this, it's better that you use these paddle shifters, because you know you have faster control instead of leaving the steering wheel and using this. And that is a quick look at the rest of the cabin. Pretty basic here. It gets a sunglass holder, no sunroof, but a very premium, this is a knitted roof liner, so a very premium roof liner as well. Nice. Now let's quickly hop at the back and show you that. Alright, into the back seat here. Now, as opposed to the competition that were marketed as proper chauffeur driven cars, this one, you know, I guess in an attempt to hide its size, Maruti dubbed it as a sports sedan, which means you've just focused on the front two seats. But the rear seats are not too bad actually. I have just about enough knee room. They're not scraping this protective covering, so that is good. The seat cushioning is extremely nice. It's very comfortable. However, the under-thigh support could have been a little better, considering that this car could occasionally be used as a chauffeur-driven vehicle. But nevertheless, the seats are comfortable. The back base as well is quite nice. Recline angle, it's quite good. I have good visibility all around. I don't feel too cooped in, so that is pretty good. The seats, they have this nice little contour here to hold you in place. Much better than what Maruti used to offer. Oh, you have soft touch materials here as well on the rear door card, which is nice. You have these nets as magazine holders. You have AC vents, two AC vents at the back with a flow control here. You get this nice you know, headrest for the middle passenger as well. It is adjustable, and the middle passenger also gets a seat belt which has a nifty little hook here, so that when you're not using it, you can just place it there. This is the armrest, and you have a cup holder here that comes out automatically. You can see that the quality is good, and that is why everything is functioning up till date. And this is a small hatch for you to access the boot in case of an emergency, or if you want to access something while the car is being driven. So that's a quick look at the car. Alright, inside the cabin of the Kizashi, and one thing that I forgot to discuss earlier was that the steering actually is adjustable both for rake and reach. So finding yourself a good driving position is relatively easy. There we go. So it has good adjustments with the steering wheel, and also the seat is 8-way powered. And the first thing that you realize when you start her up is that it's difficult to tell if the engine is running or not. It is ultra refined. It is extremely smooth. Even at idle, you can barely hear it inside the cabin. That is obviously to do with the kind of insulation it packs, because I mean, this car was built to international standard. These sort of qualities, you know, you would not really associate with Maruti products, but the Kizashi is truly one of a kind. The Grand Vitara, sure, you know, it did offer a lot of features and a similar engine as well, but this engine was further refined. It was made better, so the refinement is just on a different scale altogether. Beautiful gauges, and it's an experience being behind this car. It feels heavy. The steering wheel as well, it is electronic. It is not a hydraulic steering wheel. Imagine, this car introduced in 2009 offers electric power steering, something that comes as standard with all modern cars. So this car had it back then. It is not feather light when the car is stationary. You still have to put in some effort, but I like this sort of a steering setup because it adds to the sportiness of the car. And we are yet to drive it on the highway, but I'm sure it will have good feedback. The steering feedback itself is direct, and all my inputs are transmitted to the front wheels immediately. You feel the weight in the car, you know, everything, the way that the door shut, the way that the controls are operated, everything has heft, everything has weight, everything has quality. It might look like the design and all might look similar to other Maruti cars, but trust me, the materials here are different. Everything here is built to last. It is built to a certain quality standard, and it shows. Alright, let's get on the highway, and we will try and experience that great motor, the 2.4 liter engine, a very special engine as well. This is a 16 valve engine, has VVT technology, so variable valve timing. It can sort of alter its behavior. I was talking about the engine. The engine also packs a lot of technology. It is a 2.4 liter 4-cylinder engine. It has VVT, it has 16 valves, and it is an all aluminum engine, so it is lightweight. And that acceleration, I haven't stomped on the accelerator yet, but it has a good delivery of power and torque. It is very linear, very predictable. And when you want, it can definitely pick up speed. So the CVT, I mean, all CVTs have this rubber band effect, so I'm not going to repeat or stress on that. Yes, it is a CVT transmission, but the good thing here is that you have manual controls behind the steering wheel in the form of these paddle shifters, and you also can take manual control using the stick here. So all you have to do is shift it to the rightmost setting, and while you're driving, you obviously have beautiful views because we are in the state of Kerala. The engine note, it is not extremely loud, and you can only hear it after 2 or 3,000 rpm, but it is there, and it adds to the sporty character because there, this car will spoil you because you will want to drive your car at higher revs, not high speeds, higher revs, because you can hear the engine, and you can hear that exhaust note, which is quite subtle, very Japanese. I would say it's not like a German car. There are no exhaust farts. It's not loud, nothing. It is just a nice setup, very nice car. Braking as well, quite good. So all in all, I don't know how to sum it up. It's a driving experience so unique, and every time I look at this logo, it's difficult to put the words sporty and Suzuki together, at least for me. I know the Swift Sport exists, and that also offers a lot of, it is a proper hot hatch, so it offers a lot of enthusiastic driving. This one is a whole different character. It's like an executive sedan that has good performance, and it just does things so well. Okay, have a chance of accelerating it. Okay, you can hear the engine. Now the CVT setup means you don't want to experiment too much with it. It's best to take manual controls, but once you do, it does deliver. I mean, you can definitely have a lot of fun behind the wheel as long as you know how to extract fun out of the car. So use paddle shifters, and the paddle shifters, they are responsive. So you see third, fourth, these are not gears, these are steps, but it shifts to 5 immediately. As soon as I pull on the paddle, the response is there. So if I want to overtake, I shift to fourth, step on the accelerator, and just go. Linear delivery, but it is quite a nice driving experience. I'm going to relax the engine now. So it is a 6-step CVT transmission. Beautifully done car. It won't compare to a German, but it is unique, and it is much better than what the Honda Accord offers because the straight line stability is very good. The faster you go, the more settled the car is, whereas with other cars, they tend to wallow a lot, and because of the softer suspension setup, they move around a lot when you're braking them heavy. This is very sure-footed on the highway. Well, that is a quick driving impression of the Suzuki Kizashi. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And thank you so much for watching till the very end, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.